What if the thing you call strength is the very armor that is stealing your life?
This has not been easy because we went to some hard places, but I don't think we'll ever talk about anything more important than this, because it's not fear that gets in the way of us being brave with our lives and our work. It's the armor that we reach for to self-protect when we're afraid.
We begin in a room where a world-renowned researcher speaks plainly about the thing most of us avoid: vulnerability. Brene Brown walks us through the paradox. Courage is not the absence of fear.
Give me a single example of courage in your life. One example that you've witnessed or you yourself have done. One example of courage that did not require uncertainty, risk, or emotional exposure. No one could answer it.
Courage is showing up when the outcome is unknown. That idea sits at the center of everything she has spent 20 years studying. The opposite of courage, not fear, it is armor.
Is fear the opposite of courage, or is it?
No, I think the opposite of courage is armor.
Armor, okay.
I think the opposite of courage is self-protection.
She tells a story that will sound familiar. Families where only anger was allowed, where sadness was weakness.
Is vulnerability important?
It is if we want to be brave with our lives. But we were raised to believe that vulnerability is weakness. Like in my family, we were allowed anger, but sad was not an option.
When we are taught to be tough, we build armor to survive. But armor moves us away from connection, meaning, and joy. That armor looks effective, it feels safe. But over time it costs us the one thing we crave most: being seen. Armor keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. Brené names 4 teachable skills that rebuild courage.
I was really worried about the 4 skill sets of courage, which are identifying and understanding your core values. I would love to do this exercise with you sometime. 2, understanding what gets in the way of you wrestling with vulnerability, kind of owning it and moving through it constructively. 3, how to build trust and how to become, super important, trustworthy to yourself. Self-trust. Because one of the first casualties of failure or disappointment or setback is we lose our ability to trust ourselves. Our ability to make good decisions, our ability to take care of ourselves. And the last one, which is my favorite, because it can really, I've seen it really change an organization, is how to get back up after failure and disappointment.
Know your core values, understand what blocks vulnerability, build trust starting with yourself, and learn how to rise again after failure. These are not platitudes, they are evidence-based, practiced by thousands. She emphasizes that these skills are measurable and trainable. You can train courage, not just hope for it.
Vulnerability, trust, vulnerability, trust, vulnerability, trust. I think in my work, we call that like the smash and grab. Like I'm going to hit you with something really big and then watch you go away and use it as evidence.
One image Brené gives us is a marble jar.
That's a sliding door moment. I have a choice in that moment to build trust and stop and say what's going on, or to build betrayal and pretend like I don't see her hurting.
Trust is not a single moment. It is thousands of small deposits, and sometimes a smash that scatters everything.
Trust is built slowly over time, a marble at a time.
The marble jar makes trust visible. The little things matter. Noticing a colleague's sick parent, being transparent when priorities shift. Marbles accumulate, trust compounds. One lie is not just one marble. It is the sound of the jar breaking.
It's the trust in the marble jar has been very helpful for us. And let me tell you, there are behaviors. This is plastic. There are behaviors in relationships where you take this whole thing and just slam it in the ground.
Here is the twist most people miss. Joy is wildly vulnerable.
Belonging is vulnerable. The most vulnerable human emotion, joy. Joy is so vulnerable that when some of us get close to it, we dress rehearse tragedy to prepare for disappointment.
People who grew up with unpredictability learn to guard against joy, expecting the other shoe to drop. Brené shows a practice, the vulnerability quiver, that bodily awareness that tells us when a moment is delicate. Gratitude becomes the skill that lets us sit in joy without retreating. If you cannot hold joy, you cannot hold courage. Power is not one thing. Brené names 4 types: power over, power with, power to, and power within. Power over leaders sustain control by stoking fear. It is brittle. It needs periodic cruelty to survive. The resilient leaders choose with, to, and within. If your leadership needs cruelty to keep working, it will not for long.
Power over is excruciatingly difficult to maintain. But every now and then you're going to have to do something that demonstrates to me how chaotic and cruel you can actually be.
She steps back from individuals and asks, how do systems survive complexity? Healthy systems have permeable boundaries. Feedback flows in. When systems close off to avoid discomfort, they atrophy. In a world of AI and algorithms that feed us only what confirms our beliefs, shutting the drawbridge is the fastest path to irrelevance. Closed systems become echo chambers. That is how you lose the future. Brené uses a phrase, cognitive sovereignty. Your attention is a commodity.
Our predisposition to shut down uncertainty and complexity is the biggest threat to the systems in which we work and live. The self-protect, close the wall, put up the drawbridge, fill the moat with piranhas. We just don't have that luxury. We've got to keep the boundaries permeable. We've got to keep learning, guessing, unlearning, relearning.
One of the added complexities is the rise in algorithms. And actually, when I think about algorithms that are powered by AI, they're going to be even better at knowing what you want to see so that you spend time, so that you consume more adverts, which means probably the best thing to show me is either something really fearful or just to confirm what I already believe.
100%.
Algorithms will train you to stay comfortable, scared, and scrolling. Her argument is not Luddite. It is tactical. Own your attention. Train your mind to read, to hold nuance, to tolerate discomfort. That is the real defense against manipulation. If this is landing for you, a small thing helps. Hit subscribe so more people get these ideas. She borrows a boat lock metaphor. After a day of focused work, we do not just step into family life. We need a chamber to shift. Rush the lock and you capsize. We all do the wrong thing. We go home and scroll because we have not learned to lower ourselves and change levels. That transition ritual is a practical skill for relationships and sanity. You cannot rush a human transition. Treat it like a lock. From sports, she borrows pocket presence.
I was with the Seattle Seahawks, the football team, NFL team.
Yeah.
Ask the players. Give me an example of courage on the field or off that did not require vulnerability. They said that it's not possible.
The quarterback's ability to read the field with seconds to decide. In life and leadership, pocket presence is temporal awareness, situational read, and trust in your team. It is not magic. It is training your mind to notice patterns and act before chaos overwhelms you. Learn to feel the field. That is how you choose when it matters. When leaders weaponize fear, they dehumanize others with language. And history shows that is the first step to cruelty. Brené is clear about her line. If your beliefs dehumanize other people, the conversation ends. Everything she teaches about courage, trust, and connection collapses if we deny another person's humanity. You can be right and still be cruel. That is not leadership. 3 practical moves Brené gives us, short and brutal. 1. Name your core values, write them down and use them as a compass. 2. Keep a marble jar and small acts of trust, daily. Notice deposits and withdrawals. 3. Practice one lock ritual at the end of your workday. 5 minutes to change domains. Start small, courage compounds. This episode does not promise you perfection. It promises a map. Armor to awareness to practice to trust to a more honest life. The arc is human, from guarded to brave, from small to connected. Brené reminds us that the hardest work is noticing our own armor when fear arises, and then choosing a different move.
It's not fear that gets in the way of us being brave with our lives and our work. It's armor. Everybody's afraid. It's okay to be afraid. What's dangerous is the armor that we reach for to self-protect when we're afraid, and how that armor moves us away from love, connection, and our values. And so I think the hardest work is, for me, constantly being aware of what is my armor? What am I grabbing for when I'm afraid?
If this made you think, do 2 things. Subscribe for more condensed episodes like this, and go watch the full conversation on the Diary of a CEO. There is nuance and moments you will want to hear in her voice. Link is in the description. Thank you to the Diary of a CEO and to Stephen Bartlett for hosting this rare, honest conversation. If you want the full, uncut experience, watch the original episode on Stephen's official channel. And remember, courage is not a one-time act, it is a practice. Do the work, keep your jar full.